Welcome back to the Point Guard Cast with your host Sean and Corey. I'm Corey.
I'm Sean. What's up, man? How you been?
Man, I've been good, man. Been real good. Been missing being on this platform. Been crazy.
For sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Trade that. Trade. Go ahead.
I was about to say we had to come back for this trade deadline though. Been a crazy week in the NBA.
Yeah, probably one of the most eventful trade deadlines we've had in a minute. And it was like not even eventful at the trade deadline because the day hasn't been too crazy. It was yesterday that was crazy. And a few days before that was crazy.
Right, which has been what's the crazy I feel like the crazy thing about some of these trades is I feel like we saw them coming, but not all at the same time and then within a week of each other. I think that's been the crazy part about this trade deadline. So there were three big trades. You had Kyrie Irving, who requested a trade first from the Nets.
That one I did not see coming.
I didn't either.
Actually, I didn't see either of the Brooklyn trades coming because of what we went through in the summertime. But
right. So you had Kyrie who requested a trade. I believe he requested his trade last week. I think it was like February the 4th. And then on the 6th, he was traded to the Mavericks. Now, I didn't see him going to the Mavericks happening. That was kind of a shock to me. Him requesting a trade to me wasn't really a shock. I feel like the timing of it was kind of crazy, but I felt like he didn't really enjoy his time in Brooklyn with all the craziness that had happened like the last couple of years, especially last season. So I felt like he was going to leave. Didn't think it'd be in the middle of the season, and then I didn't think he would end up with Dallas. What about you?
I definitely did not think he would end up with Dallas, but I said it wasn't shocking. I take that back. I said it was shocking. I take that back. It was not shocking. The timing of it, like you said, was shocking.
Right. So Kyrie Irving got traded to Dallas. So Dallas got Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris. Brooklyn got Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, 2029 first round pick, 2027 second round pick, and a 2029 second round pick, which is interesting. Brooklyn definitely got some things out of it. I would say this about the trade. I think it helps Luka because I think Luka, first of all, Luka's been having a crazy year, first and foremost.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think everybody would agree. Luka's year has been phenomenal. Dude been playing out his mind this year. He averaging like 34, 8 and 8 or something crazy like that. But I think his usage rating has been crazy. And although Luka's a young player, so like with him being a young player, usage rating to me when you're a younger player, I feel like it doesn't have a profound effect on you early in your career. I think it's really as you get older and your usage rating is crazy high that it really has a profound effect on you. But anyway, I feel like adding a star like Kyrie Irving will kind of help the Dallas Mavericks not have to use Luka as much offensively as they have been this season. And I think that'll help them this back end of the season from the All-Star break going into the playoffs. Help Luka, get a little more rest on offense and maybe play some better defense.
Okay. What makes you think this is going to make him play some better defense?
I really don't, but I had to throw that in there.
That's the thing about this team that I'm kind of pausing the defense aspect. Backcourt of Kyrie and Luka. It's crazy on offense.
Right.
But they're not going to be able to stop anybody.
Unfortunately, I had to agree. They're not going to be the best defensive team, but their offense could be so good, though, that it almost might not even matter. It just all depends on how they gel. They're not going to have that much time together before the playoffs start, so we'll see how it goes. Now, my question to you is, do you believe this is somewhere that Kyrie actually wants to stay? Or do you think this is just like a pit stop for him to go elsewhere?
See, we were going to talk about that later because with the whole Russell Westbrook trade, that keeps the options open for Kyrie to possibly, in the summer, be moved to the Lakers in a sign and trade, for you. We'll talk about that. But I don't know. He sounded in his press conference like, or was that a press conference or was that a post game interview when he said it? So they asked him about LeBron wanting to play for him, like play with him, and
Right.
he said something along the lines of, "I'm not going to worry about what could have happened or what should have happened." He said "should have happened," as if he was desiring to go to the Lakers, like it was being reported.
Right.
So I don't know if Dallas can make some noise and change his mind, but as of right now, I think the Los Angeles Lakers are still on the table in the summer for Kyrie.
I like that. That's a good point. I like the fact that you brought that up. But since you brought up the Lakers, and Russell Westbrook, that was the next big trade. Russell Westbrook was sent to the Utah Jazz. When it comes to this trade, I feel like this trade was kind of brewing. Didn't think it would be Utah, but it just seems like for the last couple months, there's been a whole lot of, even really going back to last season, just been a lot of talk about Russell Westbrook getting moved. Mm-hmm. So him getting traded didn't surprise me. The destination kind of shocked me, but him getting traded really didn't shock me at all. What about you?
I don't think it was shocking at all because first of all, he never fit in the first place. He never should have been there. Secondly, it doesn't really matter where he was going to get traded because they were going to buy him out anyway, probably, and let him pivot to wherever he wants to go, whether that be the Clippers or whether that the Clippers. Anyway, whether that be the Clippers or the Heat or the Bulls or wherever else he desires to go. What other options you think would he consider or would consider Russell Westbrook to sign a playoff team that would consider him?
I don't know.
That next step.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I feel like his options are very limited. I feel like it's like the Clippers, the Bulls, the Heat. That's really it. Like I don't know if there's really. I mean, he's played with a few people already that are in certain places that I feel like don't want to play with Russ, but I also feel like Russ don't want to play with them necessarily either. So I don't know. I think his options are very limited. I will say this. I do feel like this season with the Lakers, he was kind of accepting his role off the bench more, kind of accepting his six-man role, and was somewhat finding his strides as a six-man with playing alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis. But after hearing about him and Darvin Ham getting into it during halftime when the Lakers play OKC, like getting into apparently a bad argument. Yeah. I kind of felt like maybe things are brewing because the way that game was going, like with OKC, everybody was focused on LeBron and getting the becoming an all-time scoring leader. So I was like, what could possibly be happening behind the scenes to make him that upset at halftime of that game? You know what I mean? So I think that Russell Westbrook knew what was coming already.
Mm-hmm.
And so
he had to. There's no way he didn't, because before that, LeBron went on ESPN talking to Michael Wilbon of how he was disappointed that the Lakers didn't end up getting Kyrie. And in order for the Lakers to get Kyrie, they would have had to trade Russell Westbrook.
True.
So maybe that was on his mind. I don't know how Russell Westbrook thinks. He seems like a genuinely good guy. I wish him the best, but he just never fit on this team. As a Lakers fan, I'm kind of glad he's not on the team anymore. Not personal, it's basketball fit. I think that the three players that they got, they are three starting level players that you can play alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think D'Angelo Russell is a scoring guard that shoots 10% better from the three-point line than Russell Westbrook did. I think that I saw a stat that he was like top 15 in threes this year. He's been shooting crazy the last 2 months or whatever, averaging 19 points. I think like 43% from three. Malik Beasley is one of the better high-volume shooters in the NBA. Jared Vanderbilt is an athletic wing. We've been needing wings. Rui Hachimura helps with that a little bit. But to have another one, and Rui Hachimura is more of an offensive wing, Jerry Vanderbilt is a defensive, hard-nosed, go get a board type, one of the better guys in the NBA at doing that. They already have chemistry with together. They've been traded together like 4 times, Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt, which is crazy. That's a crazy stat.
Right.
So like they bring that chemistry. They spit like a glove with LeBron and AD, especially Malik Beasley and D'Angelo Russell, because D'Angelo Russell, he can play for 2 guard if they want to put the ball in LeBron's hands over the point guard. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. Russell Westbrook gets free, gets to go wherever he wants to go. I hope he goes to the Clippers, because like that'll be like bring the popcorn out, because like they play the Lakers 2 more times this season.
Right.
And then there's a possibility of playing the Lakers in the playoffs. That'll be some must-see TV right there. Russell Westbrook trying to get his revenge on the Los Angeles Lakers as a member of the Los Angeles Clippers. And he's already played with Paul George. I definitely saw a tweet that said that the Clippers believe that the Lakers just weren't using him right, and he could still be a plus player in the NBA. And several of the Los Angeles Clippers would like to play with Russell Westbrook. So who knows what happens? But market's going to be interesting. But I like this trade. I like this trade a lot. And it also proves that the Lakers are not waiting for the summer, really, because Malik Beasley is a guy you can re-sign because he has a team option.
Right.
Jared Vanderbilt is he had 2 more years left on his deal after this one. And then D'Angelo Russell, if you don't sign and trade him to Dallas for Kyrie Irving, that's what I was getting at earlier. If you don't find a way to trade him to Dallas for Kyrie Irving, he can re-sign. You have his bird rights. You can do all that. So this is, if the Lakers can't make a push for the playoffs this year, because it may be too late. I'm going to admit it may be too late.
Right.
To make a push to be a championship level team this year. Next year coming in, LeBron and AD coming back healthy with these new additions, who knows what the Lakers can be. And before I go on, you remember when Ja Morant said he's good in the West?
Yeah.
You think he feels that way now?
Nah, he's not feeling
with
that
these
way
3 trades that happened yesterday?
Nah, he's not feeling that way anymore.
Trades that happened yesterday? He probably won't admit it, but that's another topic for another day. But yeah, I like this trade. How do you feel about it? What's your thoughts?
Like I said, I feel like the Russell Westbrook getting out of LA was coming eventually. Getting out of that purple and gold, I'll say that, was coming eventually. Because he could possibly end up with the Clippers. I didn't even get into the trade details. So yeah, it was a trade between the Timberwolves, the Jazz, and the Lakers. The Lakers received D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, like you said. The Utah Jazz received Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano Anderson, Damian Jones, and the Lakers' 2027 first-round pick. The Timberwolves received Mike Conley, Nick Alexander-Walker, 2024 second-round pick swap, 2025 and 2026 second-round picks.
Yeah, I like this trade for everybody. Everybody involved, because I think the Timberwolves got a very point guard that's gonna be, because you know Mike Conley is a traditional style point guard compared to D'Angelo Russell. I think
the
Timberwolves need more of that traditional style point guard if he can stay healthy. I think he fits like a glove with that team. And Utah, Danny Ainge was his pick, so everybody came in and got what they wanted. The Lakers also included Damian Jones and Juan Toscano Anderson in that, going to Utah, by the way.
Right. Which I kind of feel bad for Juan Toscano Anderson. But I feel like him going to Utah, though, that's going to be, I think he's going to finally be with a team who definitely needs his talent. He's played with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond, and they used him in the regular season. And then when the playoffs came around, it kind of seemed like they didn't need him as much as they needed somebody like Jordan Poole, obviously, and Gary Payton. So I feel like Utah is gonna be a place where he can really show his skills. Like a team, I think Utah is a place and a team where he will be there for 4 to 5 years, and he'll be able to show what he can really do. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was one of the biggest trades.
And also going back to the Lakers, I'm sorry. Also, they get to keep that depth because they only traded one first round pick. They can package that first round pick in the next hour if they wanted to, and go get something else, or go get somebody else like another big or another wing, because we're going to need another big after trading Thomas Bryant. Not a big trade, so we're not going to talk about it. But yeah, the Lakers traded Thomas Bryant, so they're in desperate need of a backup center just in case AD gets, you know how AD is. I hate to say it, but you know how he is.
Right.
But, yeah, they're in desperate need of a backup big. You can either look in the trade market or the buyout market. I heard something about Kevin Love possibly being available in the buyout market. That would be perfect. But yeah, they get to keep that pick to package with somebody else like Lonnie Walker or Pat Beverly, because we need to take some of these guards away from Darvin Ham, because he likes to throw out 3-guard lineups. We don't need that anymore. We got 2 solid wings. We can go get another one. With the Lakers can go get another one. I need to stop saying we. The Lakers need to go get another one with that first round pick and a couple players. You keep Max Christie and Austin Reeves, so that's more depth off the bench. And you add three legit rotational starting caliber players. So I like it the most for that team. Obviously, ESPN gave them the worst grade because it's ESPN. They're going to do with the Lakers. But I think the Lakers won that trade because they got the 3 most effective players in 2023 in that trade. And old Rob Pelinka, somewhat of an apology right now, but I don't think his work is done. I think he needs to go ahead and finish the job for this season. And if it doesn't work out this season, I'm putting all my cards in next season for the Lakers to make a run.
Okay, I like that. I like the way you broke down the Lakers. I like that. That was good.
Yeah.
That was really good. I like the way you broke that down. Okay, so then we're on to the third and final big trade.
This is the one that had
at least at this point in trade deadline. Kevin Durant getting traded to the Phoenix Suns.
That's the one that blew my mind. I was like, what? And then it happened late night, kind of like when I was waiting up for Kawhi Leonard's answer.
Right, that's exactly what it reminds me of.
You remember when was it Chris Haynes? He said that Kawhi's not going to make a decision tonight, so y'all can relax. And I relaxed, and 20 minutes later, I see Kawhi headed to the Clippers. 10 minutes later, Paul George joined the Kawhi and Clippers, and they still haven't done anything of note. So let's throw that out there too. Anyway, Kevin Durant to Phoenix.
Now this one I didn't see coming. Let me explain why I didn't see this one coming. So, do you remember when Kyrie got traded to Dallas? The Nets owner coming out and saying that he was not going to help LA. Like, he wasn't going to trade Kyrie to a contender and help out LA, right?
Yeah.
So, if you weren't trying to help out the Lakers, why would you send Kevin Durant to Phoenix? Like, they needed the help. That's the only reason why I didn't see this coming. I felt like Phoenix would be a place where Kevin Durant would want to play. That makes sense to me, but I just didn't understand the owner's comments before about the Lakers, who are a team that's like the 13th seed currently, saying he doesn't want to help them out, but he'll help out somebody like the Suns. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, so Kevin Durant at depending on where you were at, it was 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, midnight. It was so random. A lot of people were sleeping when this trade happened. So Kevin Durant.
A lot of people woke up this morning confused. A lot of people woke up confused.
Exactly. I know if you're a Nets fan, how do you feel right now? How have you felt about the last 2 seasons?
Yeah. I have another question about that with Kevin Durant and the Phoenix versus Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. But go ahead and finish your point, and then I'll get into that.
Got you. Okay, so the Phoenix Suns received Kevin Durant and TJ Warren, which 2 ballers, who wouldn't want that? And the Nets received Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, and a 2028 pick swap. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like the Suns should have found a way to try and keep Mikal Bridges. As much as he did for them, especially when they made it to the finals in 2021, and even last year. Like, I know that, they were big and bad last year until they ran into Luka. But what Mikal Bridges does for them offensively and defensively, and then just the chemistry he has alongside CP3 and Devin Booker, I just did not see him being a person that they would want to trade. I feel like this is how I feel about them letting go of Bridges. I feel like they're going to regret it the same way the Lakers will kind of regret letting go of Alex Caruso.
Okay.
I feel like they're going to regret it. Like, and I get it. Like, it's Kevin Durant. Like, it's hard to say no. Like, trust me, I understand it. But it's just what he was able to do for you again on both ends of the floor. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to replace that, even with somebody like Kevin Durant coming in. Like, there's just things that Mikal Bridges does for you and does for that system. That's another thing. Monty Williams got a really good system going on in Phoenix. And Kevin Durant, when he comes to places, he's not fully a system player. He's kind of his own. Like, he likes to do his own thing sometimes. You know what I mean? So, like, Kevin Durant coming in is good. Of course, it's going to make you a contender, especially when you're a team who competes every year anyway. In the playoffs like they do. Again, they just made it to the finals 2 seasons ago. Lost to the Milwaukee Bucks, but could have made it last year, but they decided to play games when it mattered the most. But I just feel like they're gonna regret letting go of Mikal Bridges. I really do. But how do you feel about this trade?
I have a few questions for you.
Okay, what you got?
DeAndre Ayton, before this trade, was complaining about not getting the ball, right?
Right.
And you add Kevin Durant, and while still maintaining Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
So you think DeAndre Ayton's going to be just content with being the 4th option when he already didn't want to be the 3rd option?
Yeah, I forgot all about that. I completely forgot about Ayton in this equation. He wasn't happy. I'm surprised he's still there. That's a very valid point, though.
And they like you said, like, it's not like they're not contending and he's not getting touches. They just went to the finals 2 years ago.
Right.
So they're a good team. They're contending, and he still wants what he wants. Which I don't mean. If he thinks he's like that, he thinks he's him. I don't blame him for wanting his touches. But, like, you got to realize who you're playing with. Secondly, do you think a trio of Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant is better than the trio of Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and James Harden?
On paper, it's supposed to be no. When it comes to seeing Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden on a team together, I mean, on paper, you like, man, this might be one of the greatest teams ever assembled. But now that we got to see those 3 in action and saw that they accomplished absolutely nothing, this might be a better look, I guess, for Kevin Durant. Like, he may have more success playing alongside, more team success playing alongside Devin Booker and CP3. But this is my only thing with Kevin Durant. He's got to buy into Monty Williams' system. And the only reason why I say that is because Monty Williams has proven the last 2-3 years that his system works.
Oh, he's a very
Even CP3 has bought into it. Devin, like, everybody who was there has bought into it. Like, Kevin Durant has to buy into it. That's my only thing. I feel like TJ Warren will for sure buy into it. He don't have a choice. But that's my only thing. In order for this to work, KD has to buy into that system. He can buy into that system and still be KD. But he also got to understand that he can buy into that system and he don't have to score 30 a game for them to win. He can have a pool 25-27 and they win by like 15-20. Yeah,
this team, who's going to be, they got rid of Malik Beasley. Who's their backup 3? They got rid of Malik Beasley. They got rid of Cam Johnson. They don't have either of those. So who's going to be backing up Kevin Durant?
That's a good question. I haven't looked at their roster. That's a good question. But to be honest with you, Actually, no, I lied. That is gonna matter come playoff time. So that's actually a really good point. That's gonna matter come playoff time.
Yeah, you shorten the rotation in the playoffs, but you still need backups.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's the reason why I was gonna say it really shouldn't matter right now, but it's gonna matter in the playoffs for sure.
Because Kevin Durant won't and shouldn't play 38 minutes a game.
No, heck no.
Chris Paul, I mean, he has what's his name? The little guy Cameron Payne backing him up.
Okay.
Cameron Payne. He has a backup. So how healthy has Chris Paul been this season? He's missed a lot of games, right? He's missed a few, right? At least.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, so is Kevin Durant though. I mean, Kevin Durant
that's what I'm saying.
Hurt now. I mean, you even had Booker that missed a significant amount of time too. He just came back.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I don't think it's gonna work because obviously you have Kevin Durant, probably the greatest scorer of all time, with another one of a very good on the rise scorer in Devin Booker.
Right.
They're like top, but they're both like top 3 in points per game this season. So like that's a formidable duo that has to be dealt with come playoff time. But the crazy part is you look at how the bottom of the West is not bottom because Phoenix ain't really the bottom. They're like the 5th seed now. I know there was a time when they were like 9 or 10.
Yeah, they went up.
The West is so close, like it can go either way on any given day.
Right.
So like, say for instance, they end up 7 seed and they end up playing the 2 seed. I don't care who they're playing in that 2 seed. I'm picking the Suns. Whether that's the Grizzlies or whether that's like isn't the Kings like the 3rd seed in the East? I mean the West.
The West is crazy. The West will change almost every other day. That's the crazy part about the West.
I'm picking the Suns over the Pelicans. I'm picking the Suns over the Grizzlies right now. I'm picking the Suns over the not necessarily the Nuggets are smacking. The Nuggets are very underrated. Nobody talk about the Nuggets right now, but Jokic is probably the back-to-back MVP, and they're smacking teams right now. They're very good right now. So I think the Nuggets are like significantly the best team in the Western Conference right now. Until one of these teams that just made a trade can give them a run for their money, but I think they'll be solidified in the playoffs as the number 1 seed. It depends on like the seeding and how the matchups happen in the playoffs to whether I pick them or not. But would you pick the Suns over the Dallas Mavericks? Because I think I would.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think the Mavericks are like 4 and the Suns are like 5. But even if the season were to end today and the Suns would be 5 and Dallas would be 4, yeah, I'd pick the Suns over Dallas. The same way people picked them last year. Now, listen, I know Dallas did beat them last year, but when you break down those 2 teams, I'm picking Phoenix.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's a crazy trade that I did not see coming. It's gonna be fun to see it play out. I'm waiting on that next Lakers-Phoenix matchup because LeBron and KD hasn't played each other since like 2018. I did not know that, and that's a crazy stat.
No, that is crazy. Is it because every time they played each other, one has sat out? Like one or the other has sat out every single time.
Yep.
I feel like at this point they're doing it on purpose.
Make us wait.
Like there's no way. Like since 2018, it's 2023. Like I feel like they got to be doing it on purpose at this point, just to mess with us as fans.
But when it happens, all I'm gonna be thinking about is it should be Big 3 versus Big 3. Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker versus AD, LeBron, and Kyrie Irving. But Joe Tsai wanted to be all petty and not send Kyrie to the Lakers because that's where he wanted to be. Which I don't really blame him because of the way Kyrie handled that situation. Kyrie was I wouldn't say unprofessional, but the timing, because they were like they were winning games, they were hitting their stride, they were climbing in the standing, and all of a sudden, boom, he turned this whole organization upside down.
Yeah, I think they were on like a 10-12 game win streak. At one point, they were looking like that team in the East. Like I was like, man, the Nets are finally looking like the team everybody thought they would be. Then KD went down with that injury. And then Kyrie was playing, he was doing his thing, but they were losing. Then he requested that trade. So yeah, but okay, one final question for you though. Okay. Just a thought, because this was something that they were speaking on with Kyrie that I feel like could change some things with him coming to LA. So he's apparently looking for a max deal, like a crazy max deal. Do you think the Lakers would agree to that if he were to try and, get out of Dallas and find a way to go to LA?
Do I think the Lakers would agree, or do I think the Lakers should agree? Because that's two different answers. Well,
okay.
Anyway.
Okay, answer both. Do you think the Lakers should agree?
No.
Okay.
I think he should line up with LeBron's contract.
Okay.
But I think they would? Do I think they would? Yes. Because
go ahead.
Because it's the Lakers, and sometimes they can get desperate. But I just don't like the way Kyrie's left any of his organizations that he's played with. It's always chaos.
True. That is true.
But his talent is so undeniable. It's just I want him on the team, but I don't want to deal with that. It was it brings me back to how Dwight Howard left the Lakers. I'm not gonna say Dwight did it even bad. It's just how I felt when he left. He chose the Rockets over us.
Yeah.
And then the way Kyrie forces his way out, Dwight forces his way out of Orlando. But yeah, I just don't want to. I don't know why I brought up Dwight, but because it's not really the same thing. I just don't want to deal with that feeling.
No, I get what you mean.
As a fan of the team.
Right. No, I completely understand. Well, that's the reason why I asked you, because, of course, you being a huge diehard Laker fan, lifelong Laker fan, that's the reason why I asked you, what do you think the Lakers would do and what do you think they should do? Because I think him wanting a max contract and the amount of money he's looking for, I think that could really affect him, even in Dallas.
Yeah.
If that's true and he is looking for a crazy amount of money, but not a crazy amount of years, there might not be a guarantee that he stays with Dallas. Might not be a guarantee that he goes to the Lakers. He may limit his options a lot if that is what he's seeking. So I don't know if it's true or not, but that was just a question I just wanted to ask you.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think they should or will?
I think they will. I think it's something they want. I think between Kyrie's comments and I think between LeBron's comments, I think that both parties want it to happen.
Yeah.
It's just a question of who's going to be willing to make that sacrifice so it can happen.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. And this may be all moot point because Kyrie may have his time in Dallas. They could make a big run, almost make the finals or make it to the finals, something like that, and he chooses to stay. So we don't know.
Right.
But the way everything was pointing is that he wanted to be a part of the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Lakers wanted him, LeBron wanted him, and they were kind of disappointed that it didn't happen. So we'll see what happens in June or July, whenever free agency period is. Is it July? It's July 1st.
Right. See, that was going to be my next point. I was like, with the way that this week played out, I think this summer is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of the most exciting summers for the NBA. Just for free agency. I think it's going to be crazy. But you got anything else to add?
No, not really. But I did come to the realization that I think LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. But we'll talk about that on the next episode, guys. This has been the latest episode of the Point Podcast. We'll see y'all next time.